great to have the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you. I won't spend a lot of time, but I do want to say a few things, mostly about heritage areas and the work that we do together. And I really appreciate the turnout today, mayors and commissioners and other great citizens of this great state and this great city and the cities around it. It's a testimony to your interest, your activism in the protection of historic sites and stories that make us the country that we are. You know, very, very proud on behalf of the National Park Service to accept this award because of our partnership with the Illinois-Michigan Canal corridor and the association and the work that we've done together for about 3 decades now. As Anna indicated, there are folks from the National Park Service that have really done the work. I'm just the guy that shows up and accepts the award on their behalf. But, you know, Sue Pridemore, who's our Heritage Area Coordinator of the Midwest region, and also our Regional Director for Partnerships, Marty Sturkle, has also been extraordinary in the support of this work. And Anna, I want to really call out your long history and done so much to foster the partnership that we have here with the National Park Service. And both current and past board of directors, your vision, your commitment, you know, it's really come to reality. As was mentioned, that the opening of this canal in 1848 really connected the country in many ways and allowed this region to grow and to thrive and really make Chicago one of our absolute greatest cities in the world. And it opened up the heartland of America to the rest of the world and really wrote, in many ways, multiple chapters in American history. And so, in many ways, the Heritage Corridor being the first in the system, it signaled a new era in its historic preservation as well. And that success has spread across the country, and as was mentioned, to 49 heritage areas that now recognize, celebrate, embrace, and protect America's heritage. And it is done purely on the hard work and the commitment of individuals like yourselves. I've had the opportunity in my 36 years with the National Park Service to work and visit and participate in understanding the value of these heritage areas. I was staff to the National Park System Advisory Board when they wrote the report charting the future for national heritage areas, and spent some time traveling and listening to the communities that have been involved. So let's just state up front that I am a fan of the heritage areas. And I've seen really the firsthand, on the ground, the excitement and creativity that they can generate. And really not to mention the track record as well of preservation, of education, of job creation, of engagement with young folks, and the revitalization of communities as well. All of those things are products. And what's fascinating and wonderful about the Heritage Area program is it's a different approach. It's not the top-down federal or even state or other government. It's a community-driven approach to things. And we bring something to the table to assist, but we're not really in charge, as they would say. It's versatile, it's inclusive, it's dynamic, and it's a great way to get buy-in from a wide range of partners to tell America's story. They are also important to the development of the economies of local areas. Sometimes we forget about that aspect. Everybody comes to the table with certain goals, but it's often really important to be articulate about the economic benefits of this as well. But it is also that it is a citizen-driven program. The former chair of the National Park System Advisory Board said, this is said of heritage areas, this is a citizens' movement of high purpose and great benefit to the nation. And it's grassroots. You know, I've seen this work, and Anna mentioned a number of other heritage areas besides the I-10 Canal, but I've been in Blackstone and Cane River and Essex and seen the work of communities and how relevant it makes it to the history of the local folks. You know, and it generates pride. I think one of the most important parts is that it makes people feel like their history, their story, their individual story, their family story, their heritage is of national significance. It's of importance to the broader fabric of our country. Heritage areas were called out as one of the principal components of America's Great Outdoors, which is really our initiative to reconnect all Americans to the outdoors through community-based recreation and conservation efforts. We did, when I came on as the director in 2009, our Secretary Salazar charged us to go out and listen to the communities, and we did 51 listening sessions around the country in 2010 with all just open sessions. And what we heard probably more so than any other thing from the public was that they wanted the federal government to be a more effective partner, to be better at coordinating across our own family within the departments, a broad range of departments, but also with local initiatives. All too often, there was a misalignment between the variety of federal programs that are out there that didn't work for the communities. And we listened. And in many ways, we heard that the Heritage Area program was already doing what other places had wanted us to do. So we're very proud to be participants in that for 30 years or so. The Park Service is coming up on its centennial, and just like you have done here, the I-10 corridor, we have a plan. We're thinking about what we're going to be like in our second century of public engagement and stewardship. In August of 2016, the National Park Service will be 100 years old. And we need to be thinking strategically about that next 100 years of stewardship and public engagement. And so we put together what's called a call to action. It was a ground-up idea. It's designed to be adaptive and practical and flexible and not require a lot of money, but founded in the tradition of the National Park Service, but also recognizes that the next century of this wonderful country is going to be different than the last century. And the National Park Service needs to be ready to participate in that, if not contribute. So what we want to do in our next century, in our call to action, is one is to create a lifelong relationship with all Americans in the American story, through their national parks, through their heritage areas. We want particularly to connect urban communities, urban parks, through city parks, state parks, regional parks, through trails, through waterways, and I know there's some great work going on here about that. I saw some of that yesterday. We want to emphasize that there are health benefits to the great outdoors. When you think about if there's one essentially free antidote out there to the many ills that face us as human beings, to issues from obesity to it is the great outdoors. I think evidence that the outdoors is good for you. And we are partnering with the medical community to literally develop prescriptions for the outdoors, where you'll come and go to your doctor and they'll say, you know, take a hike and call me in the morning. And we want to bring parks to the people. For our first 100 years, we built, created, established, and maintained these extraordinary places like Yellowstone, Glacier, Grand Canyon, Denali. And the people still come. But people need parks near their homes. And we believe that if you take that national park idea, an idea that is truly an American idea, we created that idea here in this country, spread around the world. But today we need to bring that idea much closer to home. And heritage areas absolutely do that. There are some little-known components of the National Park Service besides the management of our 397 units.